Up now, I would like to invite to the stage Vadim Pushkarev, who's the Associate Director at Emory Capital. He's going to be talking about blockchain for the ticketing industry, an investor's view. Vadim was previously responsible for corporate governance and M&A in several industrial companies, then moved into venture capital, and now has a track of investment deals across many different sectors worldwide. Can you please give him a very warm welcome to the stage?
Hello, everybody. Mic is okay. Labas rytas to everybody from Lithuania. Seems like a lot of guests have some connections. Gordon has grand-grandmother. I have a wife from Lithuania, and even my older child was born in Klaipėda. So it's very... we met in Moscow University, studying there. So I'm especially glad to be here, to be in Vilnius, one of my favorite cities, and even my wife jokes on me that I'm more the patriot of Lithuania than she is. Thanks to Mike Kostash, who invited me to this stage. We met in Jerusalem in February last year, and it's such a coincidence that Vilnius was called the Jerusalem of North about 200 years ago. So I'm fond of history too. Why ticketing? Tickets possibly is everything and everywhere. Everybody coming here has got a ticket, be it a ticket for bus, tram, airplane, railway. Somebody went to concert yesterday, or theater, or cinema, or museum. Somebody went to sports. Somebody plays lottery and buys lottery tickets. And sorry, but even there are speeding tickets. And why I decided to speak about ticketing, that's the issue which brought me from venture capital to blockchain and to cryptocurrencies. What to say about ticketing? The main problem is nobody specifically knows the real amounts, real market value of all the ticketing, but there are some estimates. Pricewaterhouse estimated 2017 live revenues, live meaning music mainly, so it's concert market. It most, can say that accountable. For USA, it's more than $10 billion. For Germany, which is second, more than 2. UK, which usually was the second market, but now is third, also something more than $2 billion a year. Japan is fourth, and France is the fifth, with also more than $1 billion in sales every year. There is some estimates that global sport ticket sales exceed $40 billion. And there is statistics which is more or less SEC compatible from Live Nation, Ticketmaster, one of the hugest companies in the world in this business, in live entertainment, that their ticketing business generated in 2016 almost $2 billion. It's just their revenue, not, it excludes face value of tickets sold. And ticketing is very online and mobile now. When I went into that industry, dived in 2012, statistics was that in UK, something about 70–75% of tickets were sold online, and now worldwide it's almost 90%. It's the statistics of Ticketmasters, which is very active in US, UK, and other European countries. What are the main problems of ticketing? I will speak mainly about music industry and concerts, gigs, because it's the most fragile sphere. The problems are inefficiency, pricing, speculation, connected with aftermarket, and fraud. There were some old figures here in presentation, sorry it's been a little bit simple. 1 in 5 people in the UK know someone who has been a victim of ticket fraud. 1 in 12 people have at least once been a victim of online fraud. and average loss per victim in the UK is 637 UK pounds. It's figures for 2013. I guess they're more or less the same now. There are funny stories, funny for us, not for people who got in them, like people buying tickets to Olympic Games in China in 2008 or in Australia, I guess in 2012. They buy the tickets from the website, they buy tickets for airlines, they book the hotel, they come to the venue, and they are not let in because they bought ticket in some kind of fake website. And you understand that's the loss of tens of thousands of dollars in this situation. A friend of mine, who is co-partner in ticketing business, he had his own situation in Barcelona when he came to a football match, football game, and the situation was that there were two identical tickets for the same place, for the same time, and just one guy was a little bit earlier than him. So that's a problem. And as for music industry, the problem of aftermarket and speculation on tickets is very huge. The problem is that big bands, for example Radiohead, they are afraid to sell their tickets at high prices. So they need to keep them rather low in order to have their fans not angry. And so it's a real example. Radiohead starts to sell tickets for, say, 50 UK pounds. And almost all the tickets are bought by so-called touts. It's like bots, scalpers online. And then the resale price goes high, enough to 400 UK pounds. So Radiohead doesn't get enough money, which it could get. The fan has to buy the ticket at 400, not at 50, and 350 goes to somewhere in gray area. So there are some figures also for these problematics. For popular music festivals, 20 to 30% of tickets are resold at a markup of 30%. For high-end events, there was an example of Kings of Leon, 20 to 40% of tickets are resold at markup of 100 to 150%. And for very high-end events like Madonna, there are situations when 60 to 70% of tickets are resold, and the markup can be up to 500%. And there was an interesting point about one of the reports on ticketing market, that the moral tide may have turned against UK's surging secondary market amid reports of tickets being sold for £25,000 for Adele concert. I'm not a fan, so I don't know what's it in it. So how to bring any solutions into there? In 2012, there was a business concept, an idea to build a new domain name, generic top-level domain, .tickets, building a new safe place for ticketing. We have invested in this company, it's based in London, which won the competition for .tickets domain, and one of the main concepts was to try to build safe space, making the trustable destination in internet for safe ticketing, being implemented by pre-sale identification, online activation, annual audit sample, technology monitoring, and complaints handling. In 2014, the company won this procedure. In 2015, .tickets domain went going live, and you can find now some names in this space. And actually, after receiving this name, the realization was that it's very difficult to build really safe space for ticketing. And luckily, it was at the same time that blockchain went on a rise, And now we see a lot of solutions being built for implementing safe ticketing platforms in blockchain technology, in crypto. I would shortly discuss main features of blockchain ticketing technologies. Usually they're based on Ethereum. There are smart contracts, smart pricing, which can solve the problem of Radiohead selling the tickets for 50 pounds and not getting 350. So it's smart pricing or cloud computing of prices. The blockchain solutions for ticketing can solve the problems of seating assignment and helping the organizers to sell 100% of tickets. Because we heard about the conference experience that sometimes it's difficult to sell the tickets in the right time. The blockchain solutions in ticketing provide the opportunity to control the sales. They provide the ticket wallets, specific ticket wallets for customers, and it gives a great opportunity for organizers of events, for artists to communicate directly with the fan, with the person going to the concert. One more very important issue is event admission control. Like maybe all of you saw long queues coming to huge concerts because people have to check printed out tickets, solve the problems because something is not readable and like that. And of course, blockchain solutions for ticketing, they solve the problem of fraud. They do it in different ways. Some of them use constantly changing QR code, which activates at last moment, at the moment of checking in to the event. And one of the main opportunities which blockchain provides in ticketing sphere is control over aftermarket. We cannot, the industry cannot prohibit the resale of tickets because there are different situations. For example, I bought the ticket for today in Moscow for the concert. I forgot about this conference, and what should I do with the ticket? I have to have a possibility to resell it, or at least to present it to somebody. So smart contracts in blockchain ticketing solutions can provide different opportunities for aftermarket decisions, like the organizer of the event can decide if it can if the fan, the ticket holder can sell the ticket with markup, say, not more than 10%. So it gives the opportunity to sell the ticket, but it lessens the gray market and just makes all the speculation and touts economically non-suitable. Also, the blockchain solutions provides nice dashboards for different aspects like accounting, statistics, and as I said previously, one of the main points is it's a great instrument for direct marketing. You know exactly who visited the concert, who visited the festival, etc. Some noticeable players in this market, as for now, Crypto.tickets from Russia, Guts.tickets from Holland, EvoPass from Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, BitTicket from UK, BlockTix, Upgraded, Viberate, and a lot of them. And what's the point and how I see what could come in 2018, that the different companies in blockchain ticketing should go forward to build an open standard. And there are such initiatives, and possibly that could build a more robust market for ticketing and be a win-win situation for everybody. There is even some kind of government support. There is a quotation from UK government, which made a press release in the end of December 2017, in parallel with new legislation which tries to cancel the board's practice in speculation on markets, and they some kind of supported mentioning the Holland, Amsterdam-based GATS.tickets blockchain initiative. As my view for perspective for the future of blockchain and ticketing in it, I met a wonderful book last year, 15 Things That Made the Modern Economy by Tim Harford, rather popular economist. What impressed me greatly, he mentions 19th century and the switch from steam engine to electricity. It did not happen just after the electricity was invented. It happened only in about 50 years when businesses like factories, plants, they adopted their business model to new engines. Surprisingly, almost the same happened in 20th century with computerization. Computers did not go into mass market abruptly, and even in 1980s and 1990s, when they were at almost every office desk, they were used mainly as typewriters. But what revolutionized it was the possibility of using computers for expanded and changed business models. And so every such revolutionary changes happened when business started changing their business models. And as for 21st century, my own view is that blockchain can change the industries which will specifically adopt the blockchain to their core mechanisms, to their core business models. The time is up. I tried to make a perfect presentation, but met a deadline. I predicted that, so it's some kind of meme. Thank you very much for your attention, and we'll be glad to answer your questions afterwards.